notary educator slash notary in these streets. How's it going? How is it going today? We will let YouTube do what it does. It has to let you know that I am live. I am here. We are one with the camera. Hey, welcome to those who will join on the podcast. Those who will watch the replay. What's up? What's up? And today we got an interesting conversation. Interesting. It's based on my job today. What happened? My jobs today, actually. Give YouTube a few minutes. What I do as a notary educator is I train new notaries and those who have their commission and still don't know what to do or aren't successful, how to learn their notarial duties. That's what most people don't want to do. I usually say I'll get it in the dirt with you, but I'll start with you from the ground up. Most people kind of like to work with people who already know what they're doing and kind of market them. No, I teach you from beginning to say hello and how to stamp that paper. You got to know how to stamp the paper or you have no business doing business. Hey, Lisa, I saw you just finished. Congrats on a great day, sounds like. And thank you for taking that job for me. Hey, everybody, welcome. So I actually had a very productive day myself, too. It rained here really bad. For those of you who do not know, I'm in Georgia. So today I want to talk a little bit about how to make money from home as a notary. How to make money from home. You guys know that I'm a mobile notary. So 90% of my work is mobile. I'm not at home. I travel. I get in my vehicle, me and my husband, and we drive all over Georgia. Anywhere they need us to go. Thank you again, Lisa. Yeah, anywhere they need us to go, we're driving there, okay? So, but today I want to talk a little bit, like I said, about how to do the business from home if you want to. Because a lot of you leaving money on the table. Hey, S. Abdul, how are you? Thank you for offering to be my witness earlier, too. Right at the same time I was talking to you, I had just finished asking somebody else, and they said yes. So I didn't want to burn that bridge. So you got to move real fast. Jeff was like, well, Kim, how much faster could she move? It was only 3 minutes ago. But just that quick, I have to get a witness. My client had to be at the bank at 11:30, and she needed to get the document signed before 11:30. So the call was around 10 o'clock this morning. So that gave me an hour. And I know it's short notice, right? But this other person I called him as soon as I had put it in the group. So I do apologize. I'll get you on something else, though. And move kind of fast. Because as you can see, it goes really quick. And people are on standby wanting to be witnesses. We talked about that the other day, me and my sister, when we were live. How important the role of the witness is, right? So if the witness if there's no witness, the documents don't move. So that witness job is very important. So I do work with several. I keep a running list of witnesses, okay? So let's get into today's topic. So, and those that are joining can go back and watch it and catch up with us or whatever, okay? So can you be a notary from home? Can you be a notary from home? Because I get that question sometimes. People say, I don't have a car. And today, like I said, it was raining terribly here. So it wasn't my preference really to go out today. I just didn't really want to. So I was kind of pricing my jobs a little bit higher too. Because I just did not want to go out. So I offer 2 levels of service. I'm going to tell you what it looks like for me working at home and some different things you can do while working at home. And again, today was just a preference where I did not want to go out because the weather was so bad. So what we did, I'll tell you about my 2 jobs I had, then I'll give you some tips on how to, and as I'm telling you the stories, you'll get some tips on how you can actually work from home too. Hey, Lori W, what's up? What's up? Lori saying hello to everyone. So many of you do not allow people to come to your home to have notary services provided, and I understand that. Safety reasons, security reasons, you're like, I don't want all these strangers knowing where I live at. Well, you are on public record, just FYI, as a notary. People know where you live at. You don't even have to be a notary. People can just Google you and find out where you live at, okay? So one thing that the person that kind of told me about this business when I first started, my sister's friend initially, that was our concern too. She was like, well, I let people come to my house. And then we're in Detroit. Don't forget, I'm from Detroit, and that's where I learned about this. Learned about it being a business. And she and I were just casually talking. I was like, hey, what you doing for work? She said, I'm a notary. So you guys know my background. Some of you, I have a banking background. So I was a notary, but I didn't know you can make money doing it. I was what we call a work notary. They would stick something in front of me and I notarize it. I didn't know why, but I was just doing it. But now I'm a notary extraordinaire and I know why I'm doing something, right? And that's what I do in this community, is help you also to know why you're doing it and how to make money while you're doing it, okay? So, so anyway, when I was talking to her, though, I said, "You let people come to your house?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she said, most people don't even know what a notary is until they need one, right? So it's not like they're walking around saying, "You know what, let me go find a notary so I can do some harm to them," right? So I don't encourage it. It's totally up to you if you're in a position to have people come to your home. And I'm going to tell you what that looks like for me. So when I first started, also, my mom was totally against that. She was totally against that. She was like, "You gonna let these people come to your house?" Well, and my husband also, he was like, "No go. Mm-mm. You can do whatever you want to do out there in the streets, but you can't bring them here." So I was like, okay. So I said, fine. So then one day she and I were talking, and the same person, and she said, "Well, again, I've never had a problem, et cetera, et cetera." So I told Jeffrey, I said, "Well, is there a way for us to do it? Because sometimes we don't want to go out." And this was during COVID. Don't forget, this is a height of COVID. So we ended up, he said they can come, and it ended up working out. So we've been doing it now 6 years. They've been coming to the house. So what does that look like for me? How do I allow them to come to my home? So a couple different ways. S. Abdul has a question. So I was thinking about registering using another address. Do you think it's worth it? Like a virtual address? Is that what you're referring to? So your public address is not out there? Is that what you're referring to? If that is the question, sure, you can do that. You can do that. You can do that. I'm going to give you a couple of different ways to, yeah, you can get a virtual address. Yep. Now, be careful because sometimes it's not accepted with Google. You have to be cautious because Google is very, very tricky with that one. You don't want to get your page blocked. I don't even know if you're at that stage yet or not, but just be careful. You got to make sure that it's a real brick and mortar address because Google is going to confirm that. And you do not want to get your account blocked before you even get started. Okay, so yeah, so some tips that I would give you when it comes to working at home and what I do not typically allow people to come into my home. I do not let them come in my home. We will do it in the garage, on the back of my car, and in my husband's car. I have a flip top hard back surface there, so I can just flip up my hatch and do it. His vehicle, we actually have a small table. We've showed you that several times. I don't have it handy, but it's like a little camper table. I think it's on the notary supply list, which is completely free for you to download at notaryeducators.com. I think the table is there and you can order it. And that table has come in handy so many times. It just make you look professional because they're already coming in and getting it done out of my car, right? So they kind of looking like I'm coming to a house. So a lot of times I will get that question from people. They say, "I'm coming to your home." So for us, it works, okay? So again, my mom wasn't thrilled about it. My husband wasn't thrilled about it, but we decided to go ahead and do it. When it comes to taking nighttime appointments, oh, thank you, Lori. Please like and subscribe, everybody. When it comes to taking nighttime appointments, I typically have a cutoff around 8. Now, you guys know I will work till 9 or 10 if the client asks me to typically. Usually those are repeat clients. So I don't let too many newbies come to my home that late. But in my area where I'm located too, this is something else to think about because a lot of you are leaving money on the table, okay? And again, I'm not encouraging you to have people come to your home. That's your private space. You may not want that to be your place of business also. I get that. But a lot of you maybe are in a situation where you can do something. So I got a few suggestions for you. But in my case, back to me really quick, my neighbors are pretty much at home. I have one that's kind of always there. She and I are kind of always looking out for each other. And then it's a busy street that I live on, not a main street like a highway, but it's a lot of activity. The kids come home pretty regularly between 3 and 5. And then there's the smaller children, they come home at like 2:30ish. So it's always a little activity. So I don't feel too isolated. If Jeffrey's not here, it's not it's not to my liking really to have them come when he's not home. That's another reason why if you are a single person, you just don't feel comfortable for some reason, don't do it. Now, I have a lot of people that are friends of mine that are single and they do allow people to come to their homes. Again, you got to look at your neighborhood, you got to look at your environment, you got to look at your type of clientele, right? So you got to look at all of that. So let's say, for example, that I'm giving you some tips today for those of you who are just joining, on how I'm able to do some of my notary jobs at home, and how maybe it's possible for you to do some at home also, right? Because I feel like some of you may be leaving money on the table, okay? So the next thing is, if you live in an apartment complex, again, you may not want them knocking on your apartment door. However, could you meet them in the office, kind of discreetly? Could you meet them in the office at the apartment complex? I've had many assignings at apartment complexes. Those are some of my favorite, actually, because y'all know I got an issue with pets like jumping on me and stuff. So if I can do it in the apartment lobby, I love to. So your apartment complex does not have to know what you're doing. You know, it could just be you and a friend sitting there, because sometimes we talk too much. You know, I would not go in an apartment and say, hey, do you mind if I use this as my mobile office? If I ask clients to meet me here? Yeah, I'm not going to do that, you know, but there may be a conference room there that you can use, okay? Also, to get more clients, I'm just giving y'all some tips on how to get more clients, because again, a lot of y'all leaving money on the table, and this may not even be for you if you have not gotten your commission yet, or if you have your commission and you still don't know how to properly use it. But again, I just still like to share different things with you as it comes up. So we'll stop here for a minute, and then I'm going to come back to the apartments and how else you can be creative in working from home. And I have a couple questions for you guys really quick. So where's everybody checking in from? Are you already notaries? Do you have your commission, just not knowing what to do? Are you lacking confidence? Where are you guys from? What's going on? Tell me a little bit about you, because that's why I'm here to help you. I'm giving you stories that my experiences, but I know that they will help you eventually. But where are you at in your journey? I just need to know so I can better help you. Okay? And then I'm going to give you a couple more tips about working at apartments, because we got to get a little more creative so we don't leave this money on the table, okay? So Jasmine, hey Jasmine. So while we're waiting, welcome. So while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple more tips when it comes to working in apartments. Do any of you people here right now allow people to come to your home to do notary jobs? Would that be a yes or no? 1 for yes and 0 for no way, Jose. S. Abdul said, just received my name today and working on my business plan right now. Okay. Jasmine's like, no. Okay, cool. Lisa's like, no. And I understand that, again, for the reasons that I mentioned. You know, you might get you a good psycho out there. And we do not want that, of course. I want you guys to be safe. Lori's like, no, too. However, again, it might be something to think about. And most general notary jobs are less than 5 minutes, literally. 10 with chit chat. So I'll tell you about my 2 jobs I had today, and then I'll come back to the apartment. So one of my jobs today was a full-blown will. Needed 2 witnesses. That was the one that S. Abdul volunteered to do for me as a witness, serve as a witness, but I actually found somebody else. So I did a full-blown will right in my garage. So today the weather was terrible. So we pulled out our vehicle, one of the cars, and then I have a table. I have a 6-foot table, like if you have a barbecue picnic or something. I have a 6-foot table, and then I had like a little tray today is what I used for her, because I didn't feel like pulling out that table, because she told me it was only 2 documents. So she needed a single no, was it 3 now? Because I'm thinking about it. She had a self-proven affidavit in the will. She signed it. And then she had a trust document. So I believe she had 2 notarizations, though. I really think it was 2, but I don't know why when I'm talking it out, it sounds like 3. It was 2 because the will itself didn't need to be notarized. We were notarizing the self-proven affidavit. That's what it was. Okay. So she had 2 documents, but again, I felt by her voice, I could tell she was a little older, and I didn't want her to be out in the rain. So when she pulled up, I had Jeffrey supposedly have an umbrella in his vehicle. We usually have several golf-sized umbrellas in the car. But of course today, did we have an umbrella that worked? No. So anyway, we happened to, the first umbrella he pulled out did not work. So then we did not have even a small one in either car. I could not believe it. I always have umbrellas, okay? Always. Anyway, so we had a beach umbrella in the house. I'm gonna keep that handy too to use in the future. So that was bigger. It wasn't like a nice one, but it's a nice umbrella. Anyway, so I had Jeffrey walk to the car to get her, right? So she wouldn't get wet, but she still ended up getting wet because her feet got wet. Because where I'm at, a little puddle forms when it rains, and unfortunately, there was no way for her to step around the puddle. I felt terrible. I felt terrible, but she understood. She was just trying to get that document completed because she's traveling tomorrow, and we got it done. So my witness came to meet me here. Jeffrey was the second witness. My first witness was a man. Jeffrey's a man. My client was a woman. So did I feel safe with her? Yeah. Um, Again, that could look a little bit different if it's just here by myself and two men are coming. You understand? So I'm very particular on when I'm screening my clients. That's why screening is so important. Screening is so important. So anyway, she came. We did it in the garage. She sat in the chair. Jeff sat in the chair. I sat in the chair. Witness sat in the chair. And we got it going. So the witness was a few minutes later than she was in coming. So I went ahead and did some of the pieces of the notarization and some of filling out the form a little bit before the witness got here. So she asked me, this is a good question. I never had nobody ask me this before either. Does the witness need to watch the witness sign? Do both witnesses need to watch each other sign? I'm going to say as a rule of thumb, yes. Everybody just waits till everybody get there and we start, right? But my client had to be somewhere at 11:30. So I let Jeffrey go ahead and fill out his part that he had to fill out. Then we waited on the second person to fill out their part because technically, if it's called to court, the conversation usually doesn't go to each witness see each other. It could. Now, I'm not an attorney, so I just always do things the right way, but I had an exception that I made in my business today, okay? And that was that Jeffrey did his part, the other witness, when they arrived, did their part, and then they both witnesses, and they both were here at the same time, so it wouldn't be like, and they know each other in this case. My second witness, I actually know him. Not intimately, but I know him. So anyway, they know each other. So if it was called to court and says, well, Mr. Nunnally, was he there? And Mr. So-and-so, was he there? They both can say, yes, we were there. Okay. So she asked me, though, did they each need to watch each other sign? I'm like, no. Okay. So technically, but in today's situation, because she had another appointment, I made that exception. Again, it's my business. I get to run it how I want to. Now, you may disagree and say, well, Kimmi, I would never do that. And that's cool. Great. Okay. We're on the same page. Let's get y'all comments. So Lisa says, I'll do the leasing office media center, but not in my apartment. And I agree. That's why that was one of my suggestions. Go to the leasing office. Like she said, she has a media center that she can do it there. And again, I'm sure when Lisa walks in, she's not broadcasting, hey, I'm here to make some money. I'm sure she's not doing that. Okay. So you got to learn how to be a business person. And they're typically not going to ask you. Now, if you're doing it every day, a full-blown office there, they may ask you, hey, I noticed you're here every day. What are you doing? And if y'all super cool, you might want to share that with them. Okay. So again, I'm not going to tell you how to handle that, but I did want to give you some tips. Now, Lori is saying that she says, I have a library about 1 block from my home, so that's a good option. But I would do it in my garage due to my neighbors being able to see everything. So that was my other option I was going to provide too. After the apartment is going to a library. To have a closer location. Because I had someone in chat, I believe in our group chat, we have a mentorship program. And I believe in our mentor program, the other day I gave someone that suggestion about going to a library. It might have been here on the live. I just don't remember because I'm always talking to somebody. But so if y'all say that wasn't over there or that wasn't, I don't know where it happened. It was either here or the chat. I remember the conversation very vividly though. So yes, I will tell you to have a mobile office also. So for example, if I got a phone call and I'm just not feeling comfortable with it, I'm going to say, hey, can you meet me at the Dollar General? I can meet you at the post office. So I have a couple other locations. I can meet you at the Burger King. Okay. If you don't want them to come to your home, because sometimes when you quote that mobile fee, they're like, how much is it? For example, for me to go to another part of Lawrenceville, my typical fee, and that's like 30 minutes at the other end for me, my typical fee is like $60 to $75, period. Point blank. Okay. However, I'll tell the client, they'll be like, what? I said, well, if you want to come and meet me halfway, we can meet at the library, or we can meet at the post office, or I can meet you at Burger King. I'm going to always have it as close to me as possible. Okay. Let's just be clear. I'm a business person. So I'm not trying to make it that super convenient for them. I'm about my money and my time. So I'm going to always make it as close to myself as possible. Lisa says, and thank you all for sharing your what you do too. I appreciate it. Lisa says, the office know I'm a notary in the complex. They have my card in their offices, so they don't mind. LLL did it once before. Cool. And see, she has a good relationship with them. So eventually, maybe if she's doing a lot of them, Lisa might take them some donuts. Hey, thank you guys. Just something. I always like to show my appreciation. My witness that came today, I always tip my witnesses. Always. Okay. So you want to be appreciative when people are letting you make an exception with anything. Okay. That's just my theory. I'm sticking to that. Now, another way that you can do remote work and actually be working at home, at least it's like 100, yeah, is actually doing remote online notary. A lot of you, how many of you right now are remote online notary where it is legal in your state? How many? Anybody? Anybody? Because I know for a fact in our group we have some people that could be doing remote and they're not. And that's by choice, preference. Everybody get the right to choose. So I ain't judging. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I'm just saying, how many are not? So you are doing it, Jasmine, or you're not doing it? Yes or no? I'm sorry, I wasn't clear because my question was kind of, you are doing it or you're not doing it? Yes or no? Bunny says, I'm studying to take my state test for Ron. Good job, Bunny. And the moment that it's illegal, that it is legal here in Georgia, I will be the first one to sign up. Now, I do have a Ron course. It's not very detailed. It's enough to get you started because you have to know what you're doing. And I always tell people too, when it comes to Ron, don't start doing Ron and you don't know how to do regular notary work. If you can't go do a power of attorney at a hospital, nursing home right now, nursing home, don't try to do Ron, okay? Because if you're not a good regular notary, you're going to be a terrible Ron notary and you're going to get burned. Like we always say, it doesn't change. Because some people say, I'm going to just get my Ron notary and be that, and I don't have to worry about the other stuff. Wrong answer. Ron is an upgrade, okay? You need to get in them streets. Boot camp. General notary work. What is an acknowledgement? What is a jurat? Boot camp. Basics, okay? Bunny says she's studying. Jasmine says I'm offering it, but haven't had any takers, so no. Well, as long as you know how to do it and you're offering it, that's the key. You can also sign up with some companies and they will provide you with work. Now that's very competitive. I just had someone ask me that the other day. They wanted to sign up with doing Ron. Sorry, y'all. They wanted to do Ron, and they were thinking that they would be able just to sit at home and the jobs just keep coming, right? And they can make enough money to pay their bills. I explained to that person, I never put all my eggs in one basket. And y'all might have been here, that might have been on the live the other day. I don't just sit and say, okay, I'm going to get all my money from Ron. I'm going to get all my money from general notary work, all my money from loan signing. No, I do everything. Everything. And I have a new course that's coming out hopefully by next week. Our session is on Thursday night. I'm really praying I can release it on Thursday. If not, you'll hear about it by Friday, hopefully. Yes, I do everything. I don't leave any money on the table. I don't. I can't afford to. We're full time around here. So I don't play, you know. My family and my sister, my friends, they always ask me questions. I'm like, I work 7 days a week. I know you don't, and that's cool. I'm happy for you. But I'm not working all day long. When I tell people that, they kind of look like, oh, poor you. I know, poor you. I don't work all day. I do a few jobs every day. You know, some days I may not have anything. That's why I'm big on having multiple things I can do within my business. Okay. So remote online notary, if you are not in a remote online notary, you want to think about it. I'm going to give you a couple things you need to think about right now, though, before you even do it. Do you have a computer with a webcam and a microphone? Yes or no? Do you have a secure connection? Do you have an active notary commission? And you have to have a Ron approved vendor that you can work through. The other piece of that is, do you know how to do notarizations? Period. Period. If you don't, you probably don't need to be doing Ron. I'm going to just tell you. Jasmine said, yeah, Ron is definitely for getting your own clients. I know one that gives you clients, but they are rare and they go quick. Yeah. So, again, it's just another option. I believe in options, and I'm not big on a lot of, how do I put this nicely? How do I put it nicely? I'm really about how can I turn a no into a yes? How do I make things happen? So they may go quickly, but is there anything else that I could do to make sure that I get one or two of them if that's what I want? Okay. Now, again, remote is not for everybody because you got to be technically intelligent. Ain't too much room for technical challenge or difficulties because you got to help your client too. So you need to know how they need to upload documents, and then you also need to help them because most of your clients are not gonna know what to do. It's so funny. They do not. They do not. I had a guy come today. My second client, I didn't tell you about him. So my second client was trying to get a job. Actually, he got offered the job. Shout out. He got offered the job, and then anyway, he had to send over 3 documents. This is the first time I had this one too, guys. This is interesting. I'm gonna share this with you too. So y'all know I do the I-9 form, and if you're not doing it, you probably need to be in mentorship or looking at the course. All the courses are 70% off. Use coupon code Friday because I remembered. Coupon code Friday for 70% off all of the courses, even the apostille, the field inspection, the ink fingerprinting, all of them. So, but this is the first time I had this request. So my client brought me an I-9 form today, and I was like, he said, well, I don't need, no, how did he put it? He said, I need to sign this and send it back. That's what he said. I asked him 3 different ways. I said, are you sure they just need you to sign it and send it back? I said, typically they want me or someone to fill that out for you. He was like, no, they said just sign it. So then he uses some words that he probably heard from them because it's not something the average person knows. He says they wanted a wet signature. I said, oh, he said, I've already sent over my ID. I've already sent over a passport and my social security number. I said, oh, okay, got it. So now that made sense. So they probably have their own way of verifying him. And for those of you who may be brand new, an I-9 form is really an immigration form. It's from the USIC, okay, immigration. And they're confirming that he has a right to work in the United States is what that form is. So only California notaries have a huge problem completing those. Everybody else, if you don't know how, you should be learning in my training, okay? So I'll tell you a little bit about mentorship right quick. So you have 2 options. People are really, really, really enjoying the $27 program. So you have right now the $27 program option or the $47. Now $47 gives you all the courses. I think it's 17 right now. And the live training every week. Both programs come with that. The $27 program and the $47 program. Both include live training every week. You can see the schedule for October is still up, and November is written. It'll be posted after our session on Thursday. So you know a month in advance what the schedule is going to be. I need to post it in the group because it is ready, but I didn't want to confuse people because they get too many emails and then people get crazy. So the actual email for next month will go out on Friday this time, I think. Because again, I just don't want to confuse people. I gotta look at all that. They like, I got this email. I think it's tomorrow. Is it today? So I recommend people put it on their calendar so they don't miss anything. Because the lives are amazing. I find that my people that come to the lives and participate in the chat, the group chat, if you're in the all-inclusive package, do better. They just do. They just do. Now, I have some people in my $27 package that are actually doing well, and I'm proud of them also. But I like the camaraderie that they get with the chat. Okay, so some people will start at the $27 level and then they will upgrade later, and that'll also get you access to every course too. So there's some benefits to both. So you just need to see which one fits your budget, where are you ready to fit in the program. We would love to have you, so you can sign up at notaryeducators.com. Again, notaryeducators.com. I know that the holidays are coming and a lot of you will wait till the first of the year. I don't want to start learning anything new. I don't want to start tackling anything. But I'll be honest with you guys, the way this economy is going, I'm not going to tell you to wait. I'm not. Imagine you got 2 whole months now between now and the first of the year. What could you have accomplished in 2 months? Your business could be booming by January 1. Okay, that's when people are taking out their 401k money. People are still doing refinances. They still doing loan modifications because after Christmas they spent all their money and now they got to get the loan modified. I mean, let's just keep it real. What they say, keep it a buck, keep it 100, right? So that's what happens. So people overspending Christmas, and then the first of the year, everybody's trying to get their hustle on and let me pick up that notary thing. No, let's be about our business every day, 365, right? We don't have to wait until the first of the year to say, okay, I'm going to get myself together. No, now's the time to start building your business. Now's the time. That way, when January rolls around, everybody else is just starting, you are already 2 months ahead of everyone. Because our peak season is from January to like June. January to June. Now, things kind of slow down again in the summer. Why? Because everybody worried about vacation. See, business owners and real bosses and stuff like that, we don't thrive like that. I work 365. I'm trying to get it done. Now, do I take vacation? Of course I do. But I'm not just living for the moment like, okay, give me my check so I can go do this. Like, no. I'm about my business 365. Now, I plan my vacations. I plan my time off, right? Because I tell you guys here, have a backup plan. Who's your notary buddy? Who can you send your work to, right? So y'all know I'm taking vacation. But again, I'm going to plan my life in such a way where I'm a business owner most of the year, okay? I got my little time I go run and be crazy. But most of the time I got my business on my mind and my mind on my business, okay? Hey, Lori, thank you. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I only see 2 likes. Come on. So anyway, all that being said is go ahead and take advantage of the programs now. Enroll yourself. And that's only if you're ready. There's no pressure. There's no pressure because we will be here in January, God willing. Okay? So there's no pressure, but I would love for you not to wait. Quit waiting. Quit waiting. I'm going to join next month, Miss Kimmi, but you're getting your hair done, your nails done, your brows done, your fingernails done, your toenails done, right? You got your Gucci bag, Coach bag, Michael Kors bag, everything but your business. Everything but your business. And again, the way this economy is going, people are losing food benefits. Some people, and I'm not going to get into this too deeply, but I will say this. God bless the child that's got his own. Okay? That's an old saying. I really didn't understand it till I started getting a little older. God bless the child that's got his own. We've been having this conversation. Own your business. Own your cars. Okay? Own stuff. Own your phone. Quit renting everything. We rent everything. We rent our phones. We rent our cars. You can rent shoes. You can rent bags. It's something out there. Somebody out there right now, it's this little cute commercial. I think it's a bear. Let me see right quick. I'm going to look him up. I think it's a bear. I think it's Dave. I think it's called Dave. Let me see. Yeah, it's Dave. It's a little bear. And see how commercials work though? They work because I remember who it is. It's a little bear. It's called Dave. And I'm not advertising this, so don't get it twisted. I'm telling you this because I want you to get the moral of the story, okay? Dave is a little bear. Is he a bear? Let me see. Yeah, he's a cute little bear. He's a brown bear. Let me show y'all so y'all can see. Be aware, though. That's why I'm showing you this. I'm not showing you this so you can go out here and sign up, okay? That's the bear right there, okay? That's the bear. That's the bear. You see what it says? Up to $500 in less than 5 minutes. Now, how long is it going to take you to pay that off? Hmm? How long? How long is it going to take you to pay off that $500 if you get that from now? Hmm? How long? I'm going to guarantee you it's going to take you 5 years. By the time they tack on that interest rate, I've lived that life, guys. I lived that life back in the day. I mean, a long time ago. So my actual mission that I wanted to do, you know, everybody's passionate about something. My passion was really to help people with money. But then I realized, I said, well, you know what? Broke people can't pay you. They can't pay you to fix their finances. They can't. And I would tell people for free they wouldn't do it. So I don't know how to help you. I don't. I have so many people that I've tried to help. Okay, let's look into what our questions say. Our comments, rather. Lori says, trust her. Thank you, Lori. Lori says, trust her. I waited and wasted a lot of time and gave away a lot of money. Not looking to do that again. Oh, I appreciate it, Lori. Yeah. And a lot of people have been following me for 2-3 years. Y'all know I've been here, same conversation. Ain't nothing changed. I don't change my, we're not pivoting. Okay. No shade to the pivoters, but we don't pivot over here. Every day flip flopping and let's go try this to make money. Let's go try that to make money. No, true blue. True blue. True blue. We've been saying the same thing forever. Nothing's changed. This book I wrote 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5. Start Your Notary Business. And what state is this? This is Virginia, and I happen to have New York, but I got one for all 50 states. Boom. This book is not changed. It's not changed. Nope. The same thing worked today that worked then. Now, the problem is, are you working the program? Are you working the book? The book is working. Or are you working the book? So thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Lori saying, preach, Kimmi. There is a freedom being debt-free. There is, guys. There is. And you may not be completely debt-free because most of us have a mortgage. We have to pay for some place to stay, right? So I'm not talking about that kind of debt when I'm on my soapbox today, but I am talking about renting your telephones at $75 a month. You got to have the newest Apple. Okay? Apple's doing very well because every year they come out with a different version. Every year. I actually have a Samsung 20. My husband got the 25, I think, earlier this year. It was earlier this year because I actually got one too. I needed the phone because I thought I was having some problems with my camera, and I do everything with my phone. All my YouTube, all my everything. Every video you ever saw is right from this telephone, and I have 1,000 videos that I provided here for the community, for community service. Over 1,000 videos, right? And every single one of them I film on my phone. So my phone is very important. Not only is it important for filming, I'm on my phone right now filming. Not only is it important for that, but it's also important for my business. Y'all know I'm in the business of answering my telephone. Thank you for calling None Better Mobile Notary. I don't care where I'm at. I'm either answering that phone or I'm texting my client, right? I don't play. So all that being said, I need a telephone, but do I have to have the best Apple? Do I have to have a Samsung 25? Nope. So I got the phone. We ordered two because it was time. So we had put it in the budget a little bit, right? And I got the telephone and I didn't feel like trying to learn it. I did not feel like trying to learn that telephone. So I sent it right back. And fortunately, they let me get a full refund. It wasn't no restocking fees. It was nothing like that. No, it didn't have no restocking fees or anything. So I sent that phone right back. But my point is, guys, own something. Own your business. Own your business. Own your phone. Own your car. Some of y'all can go get rid of them cars. If you've not heard of Dave Ramsey, check him out. Go get rid of that expensive Mercedes-Benz you driving. Go get rid of it and get something paid for. Your friends gonna laugh at you. I did this. I don't tell you do nothing I haven't did. And my friends was like, what? What you doing? My own family was like, my mother called my brother for an intervention, y'all. I was through this whole thing, right? I learned about Dave Ramsey. I started changing my whole financial life. And I worked at the bank for 20 years, so I know about money. But what do the bank teach you to do? Borrow, borrow, and borrow, right? So, so my mother called my brother. At one time, I had sold my first house I was in. The payments was going crazy. I wasn't living right, and I was just doing some crazy stuff. I didn't lose the house. Never had that happen. But and it's nothing wrong with that deal. You can recover from it. You can. That's why I'm telling you this right now. You can recover from anything as long as you still got breath in your body. And that's what my mother will always say. You ain't lost nothing till you lose your life. So whatever you think you've lost, be it homes, cars, whatever, if you got to simplify your life right now, it's nothing wrong with that. And people gonna make fun of you. People are gonna make fun of you. I have one friend I remember. It was so funny. He walked in one day. He was like, "We talking about something." He's like, "Oh, that's right. You do Dave Ramsey." Kind of like I'm like, "I sure do," and proud of it. Okay. So now when I take vacation, I'm paying for that vacation. And I'm still not balling. I don't do that. I'm very, very picky. You know why? Because they don't just cut checks because you look good. People love my flower on my head, right? But people do not cut checks because they like my flower. People love my pink lipstick, but they don't cut checks because I wear pink lipstick. I got to earn every single penny. So every single penny got to work for me. Okay. Lori says baby steps work. Check it out. Check it out. Ramsey. That's real talk. I've been to Nashville a couple times to go see him. I'm a Dave person, y'all. I'm a Dave person. And it was so funny because I was on the freeway. This was in I don't even know what year, but it's a long time ago. And I was on my way home from work and I saw this sign and it said live debt free. I said, how you gonna live debt free? How is that possible? I've had a car payment since I was 18 years old. I grew up in Detroit. And I think y'all have heard me say this before. What you drive is more important than where you live at. Okay? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. What you drive is more important than where you live. Any of y'all know what I'm talking about? Can I get a 1 if you know what I'm talking about? Can I get a 1 if you know what I'm talking about? So I had a car payment since I was 18 years old. Actually, a little bit younger than that because my parents had got me a car when I was in high school. Lori said, yeah, Lori in Chicago, so she knows. She knows, okay? Because we're neighbors. We were. I'm in Georgia now, but everybody's saying yeah. Everybody's saying yeah. A lot of ones in the chat. So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, Willie Pinnell, what's up? What's up? Thank you, S. Abdul. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But you get to a point in your life where I don't care if you think my car looks whack. As long as it can get me from point A to B, I'm not wondering when I hear that. I've seen somebody's car get towed, like repoed a couple times. I've seen that happen in my neighborhoods. You hear that thing at night, they come at night too, y'all. If it ain't never happened to you, I pray it don't. They come at night, you hear them chains going, and they trying to get in and get out. Most of the time, the people they already know it's coming. So they knocking on the door, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So I know a lot of y'all gonna leave right now because I'm not talking about how you can make $10,000 a month, and that's cool. I really don't care right now. And matter of fact, I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna do that. You can make it, but you got to do what you got to do to get there. Okay. But I want y'all to really listen to me because a lot of stuff about to happen. A lot of stuff. And I would love to be that channel where I could talk finances and money and just dog y'all out and stuff. Those who may need a little push in there, but that's not my channel. Of course, this is notary. But it all goes together because a lot of times you're saying, well, I can't afford mentorship. I can't afford mentorship. I can't afford books. I can't afford my supplies. I can't afford my business cards. I can't afford any of this. Well, why not? And then I look at you on a live somewhere, like when we do a behind the scenes or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. And if I talk to you on the phone long enough too, I still do a few intake calls. It's very rare. Very, very rare. But I'm talking to people. I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, okay, I can see why they can't afford membership. Why they can't invest in their business. And it's all good. I'm not mad either way. I am not mad either way. Because Kimmi is going to be stamping some papers. Okay. But I want to help you to build your business. I want you to own something, right? And a lot of people getting ready to lose their food stamps. Y'all knew this was coming. You knew this was coming. The writing has been on the wall. How many of you sitting on your notary stamp right now? How many right now? And you knew in October that the government shut down. You had 2 weeks. You could have been making some money out there. You already got your commission. You just need to know what to do. You could have invested $27, did the 5 basic courses, and had your business up and running in 2 weeks. If you especially ain't doing nothing else. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we got to start taking care of ourselves, guys. And I think this has become so clear, and I'm so passionate about it right now. I'm gonna get y'all comments. The reason I'm so passionate about this right now is because after I lost my mom and my dad, those were my cushions. Those were my cushions. If I got into trouble, even at this age, I can call my mom and say, "Hey, mom, such and such and such and such." Okay, because they were very frugal. My parents did not do lavish vacations. They did like their car now, because I told you I'm from Detroit. But even at a certain point, they stopped buying cars. All my life, my parents had a new car. Okay, so they got old enough to realize, oh, this is stupid. The last car they bought was a the last car, well, two. They had a Lincoln Town car. That was the last. That was a brand new one. Then my dad kept it forever. And then my mom bought Explorer. Explorer. And at that time, I had moved from us living right by each other here in Georgia to about 30 minutes away. And they would come to see me every day because I had a pool at my apartment I was living at. And my mother was like, "Oh no, this thing got to go. This thing got to go." After that gas was killing her, she ended up getting a Ford. She went back to Ford and got a mini freestyle something or another. The gas was way cheaper though. So after that, that was the last car that they bought. So they owned both of those until we lost them. But they were my cushion, right? And even with my parents years ago, I learned that you don't even them. God bless the child that got his own. Me and my dad had a little difference about something. I had a loan in their name. And he was like, "Look, get that loan out of my name." Oh, okay. That's what we doing? That's what we did. That's real talk. My daddy loved me to death. Okay. But it came a point when we disagreed about something. And he who pulls the money, he who has the money pulls the strings. Okay. Y'all done seen The Family That Prays, Tyler Perry. That's real talk. Okay. That's real talk. So if you got your own, you got your own. Can't nobody tell you what to do. You don't even want to be that reliant on no man. You don't be that reliant on nobody. Okay, now I'm really on my soapbox. This is my real me when it comes to money, y'all. This is my real me. Okay, and I've been married for a very long time, and I don't think my husband getting ready to go do nothing. But your girl know how to take care of herself. Always have. I had a job since I was 13 years old. Some of that by choice, some of that because I had to, right? But your girl know how to take care of herself. Some of us don't know how to write a check. If he leave tomorrow, you can't do nothing. What if he dies? Anything could happen. You need to be able to take care of yourself, okay? And nothing is showing us more than this economy that, yeah, keep your 9 to 5. I'm not telling you to quit your job. But what I am saying is have your plan B. If you already got your commission, you already got your stamp, you just don't know how to use it, you need to invest in yourself. And that's just facts, okay? So let me get your comments right quick. S. Abdul said, "Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes I hear it." Yeah, you hear them, the cars getting towed, right? I mean, repo. And that's a terrible feeling. Can you imagine? You come out, you think your car been stolen, but it's been repo because you owe somebody $700 a month plus insurance. Plus insurance. Come on now. Plus gas. Now gas is cheap right now. Gas is cheap right now, but everything else is still high. Okay. Helen says, "Words of wisdom." I'm listening. Thank you, Helen. I'm glad. And that makes me feel good. I'll get off my soapbox. If y'all have any questions, please drop them. But my whole point, though, is own something, guys. Own something. That's why I gave y'all these tips today from working at home. Some of y'all don't have no car. Y'all got excuses about that. And that's not an excuse. I'm going to take that back. Because when you don't have a freaking car, especially living in the state of in Georgia, you got a serious problem. Now, some people can get around like in New York, in Philly, you can get around a little bit easier. Even Detroit, we got public transportation. And it's getting a little better here in Georgia. But if you ain't got a car, that's not no excuse. That could be some whoop, beep, 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 beep on earth. It's crazy when you don't got no car. Okay, I've never had to experience that, but I know that that's a hard one. But that's why I'm trying to give you some workarounds. Learn that remote online business. Meet people in the office where you live at. There's no excuses no more, guys. If you can walk down the stairs in your apartment, walk over to that complex and meet them. Can you walk to the local McDonald's? Could you? Could you? Is there a library close by? Could you make a deal with a friend where y'all could split some of the commission if they drive you to the appointment? If you're doing loan signings, you learn how to master that. You got everything. You got your equipment. You got your printer. You got all your stuff, and you just need somebody to drive you there. Could that work for you? Hey, could you drive me over here? I can give you $50. Somebody be like, for an hour? Most people don't make $50 an hour. You could probably find somebody that also is in a similar situation and needs some money. Y'all team up. They got the car. You got the skills. Let's go. One more time. You got the skills. They got the car. Let's go. We got to get creative, people. We got to get creative. The days are looking crazy. But notarizations are still happening. They happened all during COVID. Your girl was an essential worker. Notaries were essential workers. What did they have us do? Put that mask on and keep it moving. That's when my business started. I don't consider myself a COVID notary, though, because I already knew how to be a notary. I didn't know to do it as a business. I learned about it during COVID, but I'm not a COVID notary. Most COVID notaries are no longer here. I mean, not from COVID. They just no longer doing the business. Or they never learned how to properly do it as a business. And at that time, signing companies were just taking anybody. They were just taking anybody. You ain't even have to know nothing. Okay? But nowadays, there's so many people that know about the business. You have to increase your skill set. You have to be good at what you do. Because they have too many choices. Okay? Tanika says, all I can tell is don't fill the tank because you're going to be real sad when they snatch your tow, when they come and tow your car and your gas. Right. So if you already know, Tanika, she's right. If you already know they coming, don't fill up the gas tank because you already know. Don't be trying to hide your car. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, some of y'all behind on your car payments and you trying to hide it over here at Susie's house or hide it over here. Or hide it over here. I gotta catch my throat. Catch my breath. Hold on. Y'all know I had some I shouldn't be eating. I had some hot potato chips. They were good. I love spicy stuff. My palate just loves spicy stuff. Spicy or sweet. Okay, anyway. So yeah, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And back in the day, people would do that. I'm like, girl, why you parking your car over here? They looking for it. I gotta leave it at my mama house. What? I never lived like that, so I would just still be surprised at that kind of stuff. But she's right. Tanika's right. Lori says, quite a few people can't afford a place to live and are living out of those expensive cars. And Lori's right, too. You see it all day on YouTube. TikTok. I got to live out my car. Get rid of the car. Get your life together. And it's really not that easy. I'm making it sound a little bit easier than it is, but it kind of is that easy. Because you got to get rid of it. You cannot continue to support those lifestyles. You cannot. You cannot. And see, the sad part about it is I got a few more minutes. I'm going to hang out with y'all. And if you got some comments about notary, I'm here to answer it. But I'm going to finish my soapbox right quick. And a lot of you are watching people on TikTok. And I've seen it before. I ain't going to lie, guys. I've been watching somebody on TikTok or IG and all that. And I'm like, dang, that looked like a nice vacation. That looks so dope. I'm like, dog, I wish I can go do that. Or even sometimes how people dress, like super, super sharp every time they leave the house, like they on Atlanta Housewives or something like that. I don't leave the house looking like that every time. I don't. I think I would like to a little bit. But, I mean, real life, shoot, your girl be out there on the ground with notarizations and stuff. I ain't wearing my best out there because I don't even know where I might end up. Today was such a terrible wet day. And I worked at home today, as I was stating. That's why even this, I just threw this on to do my notarizations. Why I got to get dressed up? They come here for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I ain't look like I rolled out the bed either, but I'm just saying I wasn't going out. And I really wasn't planning on going out today. Most of my notarizations were going to take place here. If I had to leave, it was going to be a premium charge. Now, not a rain charge because it was raining, but it was going to be premium. How about that? But then I give $2 silver. Oh, let me tell y'all this too. That was what I was just getting ready to say. I offer 2 levels of service too because of my client. I mentioned that earlier. But if they want to travel to me, I don't mind making $30 for one document versus making 50 if I have to drive 20 minutes. You see the difference? So I look at all that, and all of it going to pot at the end of the day. Lori is saying, amen. Willie Pennell. Willie, you've been asking that question for so long. NotaryEducators.com. Ain't nothing changed. NotaryEducators.com is where you sign up. I answered you in the chat too. I don't know if you saw that. The YouTube chat a while back. So just think about it. I don't want anybody signing up today under duress. I want you to really sign up after you have some time to think about this whole conversation. I want you to go back and rewatch this, because a lot of you may need to go back and really process what I'm saying here. Own your business. Own your future. Okay? And some people may be saying, well, notary ain't all that. You just a notary. I do more than just a notary. I'm an apostille agent, facilitator, whatever word you want to throw in there. I do the I-9 form. I do ink fingerprinting. I do regular notary work. I'm a loan signing agent. I do it all. I'm a field inspector, mystery shopper, whatever it takes to pay my bills. I'm not sitting around waiting on somebody else to pay my bills. I'm not sitting around waiting on a check to come. I've never even, I mean, fortunately, I've never had to do that. And be grateful that those different options are there if you really need it. But some of us need to do a deep dive, and November 1st might make us do it. I'm of the mindset, I'm going to say this, I'm going to get ready to go for real. Yeah, Willie, come on, Willie, quit being scary. Come and check it out. I'm of the mindset, and I've always felt like this. And I saw a lot when I was losing my sister, when I was losing my parents. Okay. I saw a lot. And I'm of the mindset that you're going to either make certain decisions yourself. Okay. Hear me clear on this one, y'all. You're going to make certain decisions yourself, or they will be made for you. They will be made for you. Boom. Mic drop. Okay. Sit on that one for a while. You don't have to promise. Come whenever you're ready. Okay. I'm going to still see you. I'm going to see you right here, wherever you come. Okay, Willie. I thank you for rocking with me for so long, though, for real. So my point is, a lot of us, and those that may be using government assistance and stuff like that, you're going to either make the choice to get off and do what you need to do. It may be hard. I ain't going to lie. I don't have 4 children that I have to feed, 3 children, 2 children. I have 0. It's just me and Jeffrey. Okay. But I can imagine if you're relying on these different plans and now they're going to just snatch that away from you. That's not easy. It's not easy to pull yourself up and say, you know what, let me go get a job. And you may be saying, well, it ain't even worth it because I got to pay for daycare. I got to pay for this. I got to pay for that. You have to weigh the pros and cons of your life, right? But what I am saying is stop letting other people determine your future. You got to put something into it. You were not put on this earth just to sit around and just don't do anything for you. You were not. So this took a whole different turn today. It did. But I really want some of you to really think about, where are you headed? And for my people that's getting a little bit older, do you want to work at Walmart because you got to work there, because you want to work there? Okay, it's a difference. It's a difference. 60, 70, 80 years old. Am I working at Walmart because I want to be there? Because I got to be there. See what I'm saying? Can I learn something different? It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. Lori said, but it was a much needed conversation. Thanks. And thank you, Lori, and everybody for participating in the conversation too. So again, it wasn't a beat down session. It's not to talk about anybody in your current circumstances, because we all had a circumstance, okay? Every one of us. And I'm going to say this. I know I keep saying, I'm going to say one more thing and I'm going to go. But whatever your circumstances is, you can't compare yours to mine. I can't compare mine to Michelle Obama or nobody else. I got to walk this walk right here, right? You got to walk your walk wherever you are. Because that's another thing out here. Well, you got a husband. You got kids. You're not married. You're single. Da da da. You got a boyfriend. You got a fiance. I don't have nothing. Da 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 da. All that don't mean nothing at the end of the day. My kids don't have no father. I gotta be super. I gotta give them a little bit more. The state, when you go to pay your gas bill and light bill, you just spent all your money on something else that was unnecessary. And you spent your money on everything else. The state don't care that your kids don't have no father. The bill got to be paid. When you lose your mother, father, or sister in death, nobody cares. The bill still got to be paid. So we need to really, really, really see what can we do to take care of ourselves. What can we do to take care of ourselves? We have a comment here from Helen. Yes. And S. Abdul is saying it best. We all have our own journey. My cousin always say we all got our own ball game to play. So sometimes that'll stop us in our tracks though from moving. It'll stop us because it's like, well, you got a little bit easier because you got this going on, or you got a little bit easier because you got that. You got a degree. I don't. You have this. I don't. Don't nobody care about all that at the end of the day. Take care of you. Helen says, I'm on SSI and SSIDI, which is Social Security Income and Social Security Disability. One of my fears is not having the money flow on a consistent base. Then I will not be able to qualify to get back on SSI and SSDI. Right. And I've had that question kind of come up too, Helen. So again, you got to look at all your finances. And I thank you for being so transparent and sharing that with us, okay? And Helen is right. When you make a certain amount of money, when you get money from SSI or whatever, they do limit you on how much you can make. They do. So your workaround, though, on that, Helen, is going to be good books. And if you don't even have to work, how about that? You've earned the right not to. So this may not even be a conversation for you. But if you need a little extra income, now this might be the conversation for you, right? Hey, Andrea, how are you? So this may not be the conversation for you, okay? Miss Helen, but the conversation I'm having for is the other people. And even in your case, if you feel like you need a little bit more money, you can control that because you can make good records. Now you got to keep good records. You need to find out how much can you make while you're on SSI, right? So you're going to get good records. You're going to get a good record keeping system like Notary Gadget if you decide to be a notary or whatever journey you decide to go on. And you need to say, okay, I can only make an extra $500. Once you hit that dollar amount, now you're referring your work out to other notaries. And you still going to have friends at the end of the day. That's a whole other stream of income for them. Okay. I have work that I can do. I gave some out to somebody today. I gave my sister something the other day. So that's another stream for them that we're connected. We're collaborating. Okay. So that's another way. So for you, in your case, you may be limited. You may only be able to make $300 extra per month. Once you meet that threshold, everything else you need to source out to someone else. Okay. That you might need to source it out. That return could be a gift card, maybe. I don't know if you're limited on what kind of gifts you can receive, but it may be like, you know what? If you got a certain notary and you reach your threshold for the month, $300, let's just say $300. And now you send somebody else $200, you know what? Hey, can you just send me a Dunkin' Donut gift card? Or something like that. They can send it electronically. I send them all day. They can send an electronic Dunkin' Donut gift card because you're helping them in their business. I think that's only fair, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Again, I thank you all for being with me today and sharing in this open conversation. Oh, let me get the rest of these comments. Hold on. Andrea, we said hi. Daniel saying, hello, Kimmi. I just got off work and driving. I saw you're on. What was your topic today? Today we were talking about how to work from home as a notary, Daniel. So go back and watch this. There's a lot of gems talking. We had some frank conversation. So just go back and watch it when you get time. It's not going to go anywhere. It will be here on YouTube for you to watch later, okay? But we were talking about how to do notary work at home remotely and how to own your own life, okay? S. Abdul is telling Miss Helen maybe she could just do it part-time. Yeah, so she has to kind of look at her finances. Again, this session is not to bully anybody into doing anything, but I just want to make you aware of the opportunities and maybe give you a little reality check because some of y'all don't watch the news. I know a lot of y'all don't watch the news. Yeah, Daniel, go back and just watch it. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't watch the news. I got my own version of that. I got a family members. I'm like, such and such blew up over there, right? They're like, I don't watch the news a lot because the news is so depressing nowadays. A lot of people just like, you know what, the heck with it. I'll find out when they come to my front door. Well, we don't want to do that, guys. You can't put your head in the sand. You can't put your head in the sand. You could try it, but it's not going to work. You got to face it head on. Head on. And it's not easy. It's not. I done been through some stuff. Okay? You've been through some stuff. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a circumstance. For real. So how do you write the story, though? Can you change the story at all? It's not in ink. It's not in ink. You can erase some stuff. They got erasable ink. You might be able to erase it, change it. Some of it we going to have to endure it. Some of it we can't change it. I did this. I got to live with it for the rest of my life. It is what it is. But can I make it a little bit better? Can I tweak it? Okay. All right, guys, I'm out of here. On behalf of Notary Educators, I want to thank you all for joining me. As always, it's been my pleasure to share some gems with you. All things notary, check out notaryeducators.com. Don't forget the courses are 70% off coupon code Friday. Hey, Orangey Orange, what's up? How are you? Okay, I'll see you guys later. notaryeducators.com. Bye.